Yo, what is up, TCG fans? I'm your boy KJW Avatar. Um, Today, we're going to be doing another deck profile review of a personal deck I like to call Heroes Evolution. Now, like I said, it's no surprise to you that I'm a huge fan of the E-Hero series when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out, and I've been still a loyal fan of the Hero series even then, even after Stratos got banned. Which hashtag free my dude Stratos. I'm still repping that. Also, this is going to be basically Mask Hero and Elemental Hero all in one. This is a personal build of mine. It is not a competitive build. So if you're looking for a competitive build, this may not be the video for you. I do apologize for the bad quality. I'm trying to work on better camera quality, hopefully soon. Like I said, put a like and subscription down below. Comment if you want to. I'll try to do other TCGs as well. But on to the very first thing. So let's get the main deck out the way. Let's get the trap cards in there. I keep one copy of Compulsion Reevacuation Device. Let it focus up in there a little bit. Yeah, just get up in there. Yeah. One Battle Guard Howling. I'm pretty sure you all know what that does. One Hero Signal. Fiendish Chain. Dark Bribe. Bottomless Trap Hole. And that's it for the trap area. I didn't really put as much thought into traps with this hero deck, but it does good. One copy of MST. And before I go any further, you will notice a consistency of non-consistent cards. I didn't run this deck on complete consistency. The only main deck stuff I actually ran on consistency, but you'll start to notice a lot. One copy of Swords. One copy of Reinforcements of the Army. Pot of Duality. It's always good to keep a copy of that in the hero deck, especially in a hero deck. Just get Emergency Call, especially with a deck like this. Fifth Hope is not necessary, but it is a good card to have, especially when you're working with a hero deck that mostly focuses in the graveyard and also out of play. So make sure you get a copy of that. Parallel Fusion. Parallel World Fusion, my apologies. Like I said, the same thing for Fifth Hope. It's perfect for a hero deck that works out of the graveyard or out of the out of play zone. Polymerization, Fusion Gate as well. You're gonna be doing like a lot of fusion cards, so that's gonna be a thing. Two copies of Miracle Fusion. One copy of Mass Charge. Basically, it just gets you another copy of Mass Change along with another Elemental Hero out of your graveyard. Mass Change second works perfectly with this deck, and basically I'll show you the reason why. For a heads up, I do have one copy of Necro Shade in my main deck, so this is the reason why I keep this in here, because Necro Shade's ability, and I'll explain to you later. You'll start to see it. Two copies of Mass Change. And to the monsters, unfortunately, we still got this little sucky piece of junk right here. And that's one thing I'm a little upset about, because Konami didn't really make, as good as normal hero monsters, especially wind attributes. I mean, the only thing we got was Avian and Stratos, and, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. Even if they can't unban Stratos, just make a more flexible wind attributed hero monster, please, Konami. One Avian, one Elemental Hero Heatman. I just kept this one in the deck because I loved his ability, and it's kind of cool. He gets 500 for each. My apologies. He gets 200 for each Elemental Hero on the field. So just like one of those lucky things. 420 Blaze It Man, or AKA Elemental Hero Blaze It Man. I call him 420 Blaze It. He has a good ability, really good ability. He could search poly or become the use another elemental hero's effect. Elemental hero Ice Edge. I really don't really have him in my deck for his ability. I just have him in there for just, deck purposes. Because I don't have another copy. I didn't have another copy of Bubble Man. And I didn't really... I kind of like Ocean a little bit. So that was the reason why. That was the only reason why I added him. Bubble Man. It's always good to have a copy of Bubble Man in any hero deck. You never know when you top deck this dude and you need him. 2 copies of Ocean. Ocean's an okay card because he can search for heroes. Any hero, to be specific. He goes with any hero deck, basically. You can even go with the evil heroes, mask heroes, Destiny heroes, and probably even the Vision heroes if they ever make a deck by themselves. But he's a great card to have in any hero deck. I keep 2 copies of him. Neo Space, 2 copies of Neo Space, Neos Alios. Really good card. Really good card because my extra deck runs basically majority is like light attributed monsters like Koga and Shining, so he's a really good card to have. And 3 copies of Shadow Mist. I was gonna add 4 because I do have a 4th Shadow Mist, but it would kind of cram up the deck a little bit. Basically, I'm guessing when I first got this new hero build, I guess I started realizing that he was Shadow Mist was going to be replacing Stratos, and so far it does a really good job. One thing I hope for, if they do unban Stratos, they're going to have to limit Shadow Mist to 2 and probably Stratos to 1. Even still, that would be still good, and it keeps the hero deck at a pretty decent level. I would say. But yeah, three copies of Shadow Mist really works. Always keep those. 1 copy of Necroshade, like I said. The only reason why I keep him in this deck is because of Mass Change 2nd and his effect that works in the graveyard. Wild Heart, because he's unaffected by traps, which is a good thing. Get a copy of Woodman. Woodman saves lives. I swear to you, this guy, if you can't get to your polymerization, this guy can get it for you. Either him, or I think that's the only card that search poly. I think that's the only hero card that searches poly. Anyways, but get him. At least 1 copy of him. If you can, still keep that old copy of Blade Edge. He has amazing effect. You shouldn't let it go to waste. It's a pretty good card. Keep him. Just for chucks and grins, I kept Neosin. Like I said, for Necroshade's effect, and you never know when you have your back against the wall and you need something powerful to send out, even though they're not really known for their real good strength. To mess with your opponents and stall, I put a copy of Neos Spacian Grand Mole. If you ever see me make any more hero decks, you're going to notice that Neos Spacian Grand Mole is definitely going to be a staple in any hero deck that I build, because Neos Spacian Grand Mole is basically that, okay, if I have this in my hand, I'm going to stall you out until I get what I need. So if you have a friend that runs a hero deck, always expect this in their deck. There should be no reason why you should ever underestimate that your opponent does not run this in a hero deck. If they do, then, like I said, they're trying to stall you out, and they're going to mess with you the entire time. Unless you trap hole it first chance you get. Summoner Monk works perfectly with Shadow Mist effect, especially when you have a spell card in the graveyard in your hand. Marauding Captain, same thing, works perfectly with Shadow Mist. And the same thing with Goblin Attack Bird. Always keep a copy of him. And that's it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. Alright. Sorry if this video is a little bit longer than the first one. So, the main staple, and I'm kind of surprised that this is the only contrast hero in the set. But as OP as he is, a little bit OP as he is, in my opinion, it's a good thing that he is the only contrast hero. Contrast Hero Chaos. Also, I wanted to also mention, I've kind of noticed, and it takes me a while, but my friends noticed to me that, or pointed out to me that most of the mask heroes are either represented by, Kamen Rider or the Sentais, which actually, I'm kind of starting to see it. It kind of looks like Kamen Rider a little bit, Mask Rider, hence the mask heroes. And I've always been a big fan of Super Sentai and Mask Hero and Kamen Rider. So this was like a very special deck to me. It was like kind of near my childhood, and it kind of really, brought the inner kid out of me a little bit. But one copy of Contrast. You should never get two. They are limited to one. Get Nova Master. Do not waste time on getting Goka. Even though Goka's effect is okay in other people's opinion, I would not waste money on using mass. I wouldn't even waste a mass change on mass changing Nova Master into Goka. I just use Nova Master for its effect, which is good enough. You get to draw a card when you destroy an opponent's monster. Like I said, if y'all feel a different opinion about Goka, leave it in the comments section. If there's any hero fans at all, which I highly doubt. Then I got Absolute Zero. My friend actually turned me on to this. He put me on to this, and I mentioned him several times before in the previous video. My boy Nick, that Absolute Zero and Acid, they go in a combo, and it's so perfect. If y'all don't know, I'll explain to you after I show you Acid. But yeah. And then we got Mask Hero Acid. And basically the combo with these two is if Absolute Zero is summoned to the field, nothing happens really. But he gains attack for every water type attributed monster on the field. About 500 basically. And if he's sent to the graveyard for any means necessary, by effect, spell card, trap card, whatever, just as long as it's not out of play, the front row gets like completely obliterated. And if he's mass changed from Zero into Acid, it shoots the back row. So it's like a perfect 2-hit combo. You mass change, send Absolute Zero to the graveyard, blow up the front row, summon out Acid, blow up the back row, and it's like an instant like leave your opponent just empty, and it's like just endlessly just destroying your opponent. 2 copies of Shining. 2 copies of Koga. 1 copy of Tornado. I do not want to get the newest one, the newest Mask Hero. I like Divine Wind better, but you'll rarely get the chance to use Great Tornado. And Divine Wind, same thing. I just keep him there just for, keepsakes. Always get a decent copy of Core. Core is like Core's work. Core puts in so much work, just like his counterpart, Gaia. Gaia puts in work as well. 2 copies of Dane. You never know when you need it. 2 copies of Anki. And 2 copies of Law. And that's it for my Heroes Evolution build. Leave a like, comment, and subscription down below, like I said before in the video. Like I said, these aren't competitive builds that I've actually made. These are just personal fun builds. I probably will be doing competitive builds pretty soon, but not at this point. I just like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For fun, and it's just for fun. So like I said, calm down in the comment section, please. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions or anything, or critique anything that I do, please leave, like I said, a comment down below. This is KJW. I'll be hitting you up for another deck profile pretty soon, and much love to you. Peace. Deuces.